One. Good morning, everybody. Coffee Pokemon here. Good morrow. We've got Zach Humphrey from Aurora Beam Collectibles here this morning. And, of course, your boy Warcurdle as well. Stuff we want to talk about today. So, Pokemon has acknowledged the product shortage. I guess officially, it's been, what was it, a tweet? Was it on Twitter? There was some announcement.
Yeah, it was on their Twitter at first, but it gave like a link to the website for more, quote unquote more details. But there wasn't much. I mean, other than like an acknowledgement, which the acknowledgement is nice though, right? Like, guys, we get it. Like, we know you're all frustrated about not being able to get stuff off of shelves. We're gonna do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like they want you. We talked about it on Tuesday, right? We were like, they want to sell this stuff. Like, they got to be wanting to reprint print the crap out of everything while everybody wants it. We know it'll sell. It's just kind of funny that we were talking about that on Tuesday, and then here we are today, one day later, and they actually acknowledge that, that exact situation.
Right. Yeah, we discussed that, or the company that does the printing for Pokemon expanding and getting new facilities. The timeline for that being about 12 to 18 months to where these facilities will be up and running and starting to crank out additional product. But yeah, it's like Pokemon's like, sorry, we're printing at max capacity and we're doing the best we can.
Sick of seeing that Denver gear. Oh, I will flip it back around, whoever you are. I can't see who the names are, Curtis. I can only see Facebook user.
Let me grab, I'll be right back. Yeah, you can pivot, but I'm gonna grab my
Yeah, so we're talking about Pokemon, acknowledging that that we need to that they need to print more, even though they're printing at full capacity. I just wonder, like, what was taking up, why they were behind before. I guess COVID, whatever.
I think it was like, that's actually why we are getting. Which one of these sets was pushed back? I think it's Battle Styles. So Battle Styles actually was scheduled to come out in February.
Well, right, the whole schedule this year is like moved.
Yeah.
Like 1 month, right?
Right, because a lot of people were thinking or saying that Battle Styles is in March because Shining Fates is in February, and they, didn't want to release two sets in the same month. But I want to say, when was the last? Generations was released the same month as Breakpoint. So Breakpoint came out about that same time. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that's how that schedule usually works. So yeah, and they said it was because of COVID. And yeah, they had to shut down facilities, and they got behind on prints, and having to start on new sets and not printing them as much as the old sets and stuff.
Yeah, so they promise maximized production upon release for future sets. Okay, so that's good. But has that been? Haven't they been at maximum production for? I mean, like Vivid Voltage, or is that not maximum production?
So, and we're just speculating. We don't know for 100% sure, but to entertain the conversation, I would say, yeah, like let's
how could it not be?
Let's say your facilities that you are printing product for, that you have scheduled out a plan for probably the next, I don't know, year. So we have a print schedule for the next year. We're going to be printing this, and then immediately starting on this, and then immediately starting on this. Keep up with the release schedule. Well, when you're forced to shut down for COVID for, let's say, a month, well, then you take that entire schedule.
It just displaces it all, right?
And then a month. Well, you can't.
There's also a kick up in demand at the same time, right? So you have your supply goes down. At the same time, that plan that they had for that next year, saying, okay, we only need to print this much based on the demand that we expect. Well, that demand doubled in a year too. So it's like, oh, shoot, now we have to source twice as much cardboard, twice as much, we have to keep our printing presses on just as longer than we thought that we would. We have to make more decisions on to reprint all their stuff and where are we going to do that at? So that all makes sense, I guess. When you even 1 month and a huge kick up in demand,
Yeah.
I guess that all makes sense. So we know, what reprints do we know of, Curtis?
So we've got the Cosmic Eclipse booster box reprint scheduled,
and that's April.
Yeah, it's April.
Okay.
April's the time for that. And then it's been announced in a few sources, mostly YouTube videos from, your typical guys that have the information resources to where, they have the first videos of these kinds of announcements. Team Up. So Team Up was announced, which I'm super happy about. I love that set.
Yeah. I wonder what that means for the game, because I don't know. Cosmic Eclipse has the ADP. Team Up has a bunch of playable cards, but like battle styles and some of the new dynamics are all ready to smash. At least that's the what we all think, and what's going on in Japan right now with what they're doing with battle styles or rapid strike and single strike. Like, we don't think a lot of those cards will be all that playable. So that seems like they're printing them for the collectors at this point. Then.
Yeah. That's why we saw a reprint last year of Shining Legends, right?
Yeah, right. That's true. It's all for the collectors at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Shining Legends reprint was stellar. That was awesome.
Last year?
Yeah, I loved going to the store and seeing all of those price matched, like the $30 boxes, the Raichu ones, right? And you could go down to 15 with them at Target. Those were bomb diggity.
Yeah, if you still have some of those, you've made out pretty well. They're about $100 a box right now.
That's unreal. Yeah, they were 15 at a price match.
Yeah, and the only thing I can attest it to is, it's just not in print. It's not. It's not in season. It's that Pokemon market thing where.
Okay, so you make a good point here. Like, what then? So we know Cosmic and Team Up are coming, right? And the way that they say it in here is they promise future availability of how did they say it? As I reported 2 months ago, this is Force Pokemon and other card game presenters to product in waves. They publicly acknowledge the shortages on their upcoming support page. There will be more product coming to retailers as soon as possible, which is the wave model already entails. However, they promise maximum production upon future releases. There was something about the stuff that was recently printed too, that they are going to continue to reprint.
Yeah, I remember reading that as well. It made me think of, the more recent, like, really hot sets, like Vivid Voltage, for example. I would be shocked if we didn't see more Vivid Voltage being printed in the next 3 months.
So how far back does it go? Like, we're pretty solid on Vivid Voltage and DAB. Like, those two. One has the Charizard. DAB has a bunch of playable cards. The Eternatus deck is pretty much all in there. The Crobat's in there. You get a lot. Although Shiny Star V gives you, or not Shiny Star V, Shining Fates gives us like shiny versions of a lot of these cards too, which is like people want those for their decks. So either which way, all those sets are going to be likely reprinted. But how far back does it go? Like, are we going to see like Sword and Shield reprinted? Is that like desirable enough that we're going to see just Sword and Shield, or do we go back into Sun and Moon? Do we see more? Like, we got another wave of Hidden Fates here. They know people really want that set. Do they go as far back as Hidden Fates? Do they go as far back as
X,
Y, and
yeah, I would also be shocked if we didn't see another Hidden Fates print this year.
Right.
I would be
Hidden Fates would make sense.
yeah. As far as like the most desired set goes, like if they were to sit down and say, hey guys, what's the most desirable set right now that we should be printing more of to give to the community? Well, everyone's going to be like, well, Hidden Fates, Hidden Fates, Hidden Fates, Hidden Fates.
Yeah. If you've been 4 weeks into the hobby, you might say XY Evo, but after week 5 into the hobby,
Right.
you probably switch to Hidden Fates as being your most desirable modern set.
Well, so XY Evo, yeah, there was the announcement that XY Evo was going to be or should be seeing a reprint around the same time as the 25th anniversary release. So in the fall was the announcement for that. So, or unless they were making some sort of implication that the 25th anniversary set was going to be some sort of like Evo-like set. Like instead of XY evolutions, we see Sword and Shield evolutions. And then it's just and it's different. It's reprinted cards from like different base sets, right? So I was talking with a buddy of mine speculating, and it's like, well, maybe it's going to be like Fossil. We're going to see some Fossil, or maybe some Gym Heroes and some Gym Challenge. That would be like awesome. I would love to see that. Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge is some of my favorite artworks and binder collection cards. A blank.
We've seen them do, yes, absolutely. Like that would be sick. I want them to pay homage to all older sets, but I wonder if they'll kind of coincide it with what they're doing at McDonald's right now, where they have all the starters. Like I wonder if it's gonna look something like that, or maybe you'll get like a piece of every set. Maybe not just the starters, but maybe like a bit of every generation, right? In every one of them. It's so, the way that they're relieving it all in waves, and like you have a Kanto display box and a Soto, and then it goes like that. It's just so, it's up in the air on what that might be, but I would love that too, like a little callback to every starter Pokemon all the way through too. Because that's just it. If you go like just a Fossil, then there's going to be people that are like butthurt and they want that sweet base. There's going to be some people that like want Neo. There's some people that want even the XY like stuff. They want some of those cards from that period, right? So it would be really cool if they did like a little bit of a homage to pay for every generation that has been interested in Pokemon. A little homage to everybody, which would be kind of cool.
There's so many sets to pay homage to. I like the Michael Holliker e-readers. Yeah, some of those e-reader card artworks are like the most unique and interesting and just gorgeous artworks that I've seen. Like the very last ones there, like Skyridge. I love seeing packs open from Skyridge, even though they're disgustingly expensive.
Isn't that Wicked Sizer in Skyridge, or is that there's a Wicked e-reader card that's a Sizer, right?
Yeah, there's a few of them. I have one. I want to say it's from Aquapolis.
Yeah, okay, that's the exact one I'm thinking of. All right.
Yeah.
I saw one a couple of weeks ago at a local card shop. Guy dropped off 3,000 just e-reader cards, and I went through it with the owner of the local card shop, and like 200 hollows, no sleeves, no nothing, all e-reader sitting in the back of the thing. So it was just hard to watch, like pulling them out at one by one with just destroyed hollow foil on them. It was heartbreaking. But yeah, so I mean, what I would like to also see is a little bit more love for like Venusaur and some of the like less, like still Pokemon that everybody recognizes, but just over the years have kind of gotten pushed to the wayside a little bit. Like Gen 2, like Typhlosion, like like you don't see much homage paid to that Pokemon at all, and it's a favorite of a ton of people. So I wonder how much they're gonna do that with like the favorite Pokemon, and then you got all the starter stuff that they're doing with McDonald's. So I just wonder how that all ties into the plan this year.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this year, and it's going to be a frustrating one as well. It's because the shortage is not going to get any better. That it may even get worse. We're going to see a lot of social media with Pokemon right now. As hot as Pokemon is, you better believe it because people.
Oh, Levi's. Did you see the Levi's promotion this morning? Levi's and Pokemon announced a collaboration as well. So
Levi?
they got this, yeah, Levi denim. Like there's this sick. It's weird that I'm saying it's sick,
No,
but it's like it's sick.
you are spot on. That is
Uh,
sick. I would buy that.
there's a denim jacket, and it's like all green denim, and then it just has Pokemon all over it, and that's super cool. There's a T-shirt that has like Pikachu, and he's like laying on the word Levi's, and it's just Levi's underneath of it with Pikachu
Wow.
on top of it. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool. So you're gonna see literally the clothing lines. I think we talked about Katy Perry's doing a bunch of soundtrack stuff with them. I saw Logan Paul doing something else even last night, talking more about it. Yeah, I mean Steve Aoki's not, didn't Steve Aoki buy the Illustrator card? Did you buy the Pokemon Illustrator card too?
I didn't hear about that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and I think that happened too. So I mean, we're just like, yeah, I'm getting inundated by it from other sources that I usually don't hear about Pokemon from. So if I'm getting that, that means people that haven't been around it are definitely hearing it.
Yeah.
How's
That's
the page? I
wild.
mean, is the page getting more
Say that again.
people? Like, are you continuing to see an increase in more and more new people to the hobby as well?
Um, I mean, I'm meeting new people in the hobby every day on these, especially Facebook, but, I'm not actively seeing it, but I mean, it's going to happen with as much social media in there. That's happening. Um, yeah, like more people are being exposed to the fact that Pokemon is back and it's hot and it's one of the hottest hobbies, or not hottest, but it's just, been on this steady, really steep incline, and it doesn't seem to be plateauing. It just seems to be getting more and more hype, like with the Levi announcement. Yeah, like there, if it wasn't, businesses would not be wanting to partner with Pokemon to make,
Yeah.
because Levi wants to sell their denim. Well, I'm buying a denim jacket with Pokemon on it. I can already tell you that. If they got a green one with Scyther on it, I'm already there. But
Dude, there's so many. It was so cool. I can't believe how jazzed I got watching that
somebody
this
said
morning.
something about so Robert, this is exactly why they should not reprint the arts. And I think he's referring to yeah, so like reprinting artworks on older Wizard of the Coast sets or stuff that's not printable. There's been, and this may be taken out of context, but I've heard concerns from community about it devaluing the older base sets by reprinting them. Well, it's already proven not to be true. Base set did not lose any value when XY Evolutions was printed. If anything, it increased it. But it's a valid concern, but I don't think that we have anything to worry about as far as that goes. If you're sitting on like a the e-reader set collections, like you managed to make master sets of them all, if they do a reprint of those sets, I wouldn't worry about the value of those going down. If anything, it might increase them because people are being exposed to that artwork and to the uniqueness of those cards. So it's going to put a spotlight on the older set. Because if they want one, they're gonna want the other. Whether they can afford it or not, that's another question.
Yes,
Steve, what's
yes,
up? Oh,
and that's pretty accurate too. And but it is a valid concern, right? Because like you don't want to value other stuff. What I have heard, like when Naruto, for example, had their trading cards out, they did like they would reprint the same card in I think either the same set or like the next set, but it would be a black card or a gold card version or a rainbow, not a rainbow card version, but for example, they would use the same card but a slightly different version, and it was supposed to be more rare, right?
Yeah.
But what actually ended up happening was I think the black cards, which were the super rare ones, ended up becoming less valuable than the regular printed ones that were in the same set, because for whatever reason those were more playable or they were more desirable by the players versus the black cards. So there's some sort of phenomenon going on with rainbow cards too. That's Pokemon is talked about removing rainbow cards because of a similar phenomenon that they're worried about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's valid. Like cards definitely, when they're copied or reprinted, there is always that risk that could somehow devalue a different set, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely
Or a different card.
population in the market, especially if it's like, you know, if it's a reprint of something that is reprintable. Like if it's the exact same thing. Like we can talk about a reprint, you know, and it's not a reprint, it's more of like, you know, creating a set list for Pokemon that has the likeness of the older set. Like Skyridge will never be reprinted. They can print a modern version of it, but they'll never be reprinting Skyridge cards to be like, well, you know, I submit both to get graded. They both say Skyridge. Well, no.
Right. And would you like, I think I would prefer that. Somebody just said here too, you know, it's not even about devaluing. I know the set price would go up with the new market for, because of course we know all Pokemon pretty much goes up, but it's about the uniqueness. And I agree with that. Like, it is so easy to just like, oh, okay, this version's a gold card or this version's a, you know, a rainbow. It, like, for one, unique artists get to be able to make, you know, new work on new art cards, which is awesome, right?
Yeah.
There's more creativity to it. It gives people more stuff. It gives us more. Plus, like, if they do just play homage to it, but create something new, I think I prefer that more. Because I still already have my base set. Like, I don't necessarily need another, you know, almost copy for copy, other than a little brand at the very bottom right copy of that base set. But you know, if you do something that pays homage to it, where we have some of the similar arts, but maybe there's some different spin to it, or, you know, you do the base set, but you get a shiny base set Charizard. You know what I'm saying?
A shiny base set Charizard, for real.
That would be pretty tight, right?
Yeah, a good example, and it's from Diamond and Pearl Stormfront. That it has this secret rare Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. But, and I'm sure you've noticed if you've seen these cards, but it's the base set artwork, like revamped, and it's not a duplication of it. It has the same likeness, but they kind of spruced it up. And I'll pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, can you bring it up? I want to see this bad boy. What set is this from?
So this is Diamond and Pearl Stormfront.
Okay.
And let me go ahead and find that screen here.
Even with the Evo Holland distance like that, it's not exactly the same. Yeah, it's not exactly the same. Yeah. I mean, they did put different cards in there, obviously, and put some different arts in that Evo set too, which is cool. But I still, you know, it's like, I'd never really liked Evo all that much, because it's like, okay, you know, I'm looking at my base set Charizard or my Charmander and my Evo Charmander. It's like, okay, one's a Rev Hollow. That's cool. You know? Right. All right. Cool. Sweet. You know?
Yeah. So here he is, if you can see him there. So it's essentially the base set Charizard. You know, he's got the same stance. You know, it's the same. Yeah. It's just spruced up. You know, they basically redrew it and drew it a little bit more modern. Same with the Charmeleon. That's a small picture.
Yeah.
You know, the size on there is problematic, but there's a good picture of the Charizard. But yeah, like that, I thought was really cool. You know, there's the Charmander. You know, the color is just a little bit more vibrant. There's more depth. You know, to it.
I love the green and the wings on that card too.
Yeah, I know that's like super small and it's hard to see. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good though.
I could make that a little bit bigger. So yeah, we talked about reprints a bit, and Stormfront Zard better than base set Zard. Changed my mind. Yeah, it's beautiful. The Stormfront side.
It is really pretty.
And that's, that's a high dollar card too. Like last time I saw raw, a minty one was like $400 or $500. Let's see.
So these guys were talking about flex decks, really expensive decks. Yeah, like I want a whole shiny Mad Party deck. Like I don't even think Mad Party is going to be really like all that great in the meta here coming up, but to just have all those little Mad Parties all shiny, which the digital for Shining Face, the digital set list did drop. It's all the stuff that you would imagine. The Pikachu V you get from the Pikachu V box. You get from all of the Mad Party boxes. Yeah, this is what I just talked about, all the Mad Party tins. You get the Galarian Mr. Rhyme, the Dedenne, the Poltergeist, and the Bunnelby. So all for your Mad Party deck there. Eldegoss V, Bolton V, Cramorant, and the tins. EVV Max in the Elite Trainer box, and then Dragapult and Crobat V and V Maxes in the premium collection. And that's pretty much it where it says for the actual. Otherwise, you'll get a code card in every pack and could get anything. But it would be pretty sweet to have an all shiny. Because between, Hidden Fates and Shining Fates, you should now pretty much be able to build an all shiny, at least Pokemon, a couple different decks. Should be pretty cool. Build a Dragapult deck. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Oh man,
Dragapult's a good Pokemon.
Are you bummed too that Marnie's not going to be in this set?
I mean, it's weird, kinda. Like I don't really know why.
In Japan, that card is selling for more than the Charizard and Shiny Star V.
It's super playable too, so like it's going to be desirable here. Both collectors and players are going to want that card for their decks.
Yeah.
Or are going to want that card for collecting and playing. So I don't really know why. Maybe it just didn't fit.
Well, we see the last two because we're not getting the Zamazenta Zacian gold cards like Shiny Star V did. Shiny Star V had the 4 Eternatus VMAX, these here. Because the Zacian and Zamazenta were announced to be released in a later set. So it's coming. It's just not in this one. So that might be the case here. We're not going to be seeing that Marnie full art. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll pull up a picture here of that too. But maybe we'll just see it in a later set. I hope so, because man, like if you're a full art collector, that Marnie full art from Shiny Star V.
Is Battle Styles, have we seen all the trainers from Battle Styles?
Yeah.
Could it be in there?
Yeah, and I don't know, not in the English version, because I don't believe that set has been announced, and I might be wrong, it might have been here recently.
The full English I don't think has been announced. I think we only have about half of it. So I'd imagine it's in that set, you'd think.
Battle Styles, there's a chance to put it in there.
Dude, that'd be kind of nice to put another chase card into Battle Styles. I think the alt arts, a couple of the secret rares are already going to be pretty sought after. Isn't there what are the most sought after ones in it right now? Your Shifu VMAX alt art, I think, is also.
Urshifu VMAX single strike, because the single strike seems to be the most, if like playable competitive, not the most, but it's definitely a lot better. It's the meta, if you're considering battle styles and everything that it has to offer included into the competitive scene. Single strike's the new meta.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's that Marnie. I put it up on the screen. But yeah, there's a chance that they may just bump that back to battle styles. The shiny Charizard V we got in Champion's Path instead of waiting for it in Shining Fates. It would have made more sense to put it in Shining Fates. The Alcremie Rainbow VMAX would have made more sense to put in Champion's Path, since we have
Champion's Path
VMAX version of that in Champion's Path. So yeah, I don't know why they're moving cards and not necessarily, but I mean it's up to them. They decide where they want the cards to be released ultimately. So I hope that we do see that full art Marnie either in battle styles or in a set here coming up pretty soon. Gold Houndoom For sure.
Yeah, the Gold Houndoom is pretty cool.
That Gold Houndoom. Jake Roman, what's up, dog?
Oh yeah, maybe they give us a little stamp action. Somebody just said that. Yeah, a little stamp action. That'd be kind of nice to get a first edition set again.
Yeah, man.
That'd be kind of cute.
I've always wondered why they don't do that anymore, because it would be really cool to have, like, you know, because people will post something up and be like, oh, it's the first edition, first print run of like the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes.
Right.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's no aesthetically different, like, anything about it. It's genetically the same product. You know, when you have a first edition stamp on it, or like the old booster boxes where if it was first edition, it would say it. You know, with as collectible as Pokemon has gotten, you know, and the collector market now is like, you know, a large portion of that pie. Just do it. I think it has to do with money. I think you know, when they set up their print machines, they don't want to have to do it twice. They don't want to have two different setups. One of them being, you know, putting a little first edition stamp on all these cards and then having to go back, remove it, and then reprint everything again.
Yeah, that could be. It could be too that if you do it too many times, like it could devalue everything that isn't a first edition then, or make it less desirable. So then those all sit on the shelves while your first editions are the scalping market. Maybe that, so they only can do it so many times. So the new Digimon that just came out, didn't they have a first edition run?
Yeah, they called it a pre-release, or not pre-release, but
and it's marked somehow on the booster boxes that it's a first run.
Yeah.
Somehow, right?
Yeah, it's the version 1.0. Because in Digimon, they do versions, so it's version like, you know, it's a number after the version. So version 1.0 is like the pre-release run of it. And I believe after that, like their normal print runs of this, you know, this first set is going to be like 1.5, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
No, that sounds right. I think that's right, because that's why everybody was selling those 1.0s higher than the 1.5s, because I remember those all being listed differently. So that's just it. Like, I wonder if like that makes sense for them to do for that first initial couple sets or whatever. Because Final Fantasy, when they did their first box as well, there's a first edition version of that versus the first box they actually put out. But I think, to your point, Pokemon has enough hype right now to do that real quick, you know, 25 years later, and have another first edition of a really cool set of a 25th anniversary, whatever. That would be pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
Because that's what we still think, right? There's this other mystery 25th anniversary set that we don't quite know about for the holiday set this year, right?
Right.
So that's so exciting, because we have these, you know, what we know is coming 25th anniversary stuff, but there's also this another holiday set coming, and our other regular sets, which we got Silverlance and Jet Black, which will be which will be made into a US set of some sort. We know EV Heroes is coming, for sure. Is there any other names that we'll hear, or is that it that we know? So I think that's it.
VMAX Climax,
and then there was VMAX Union, but we don't know if those are sets or if those are mechanics.
What if VMAX Climax is our anniversary set? VMAX Climax. The VMAX run. Well, I mean, so like XY Evolutions was the end of the EX era. VMAX Climax is rumored to be the end of the VMAX era. I don't know. Could be. It's going to be a big year for sure, Trevor.
Yeah, I'm excited about everything. I'm so jazzed. I'm just ready to go. We're having Trevor and I. So for everybody that doesn't know, most people probably do. That's on here. Myself and Trevor Soft and Run Aurora Beam Collectibles. We get a bunch of our Shining Fates stuff in, hopefully Wednesday of next week. And then we have a bunch of other product. And we have, I think, like 15, 20 people that are all going to be ripping come Thursday, Friday. So we're going to have a little party. And I'll share some of the videos and everything of what we end up getting there on the page here. But we're going to be chasing that Charizard.
Shining Fates is next week, guys. What is it?
Dude, it's next week. It's next week.
It's next week, so it's Thursday. So this time next week, we're going to be seeing these English cards flooding the market because we already know that Targets and Walmarts will stock whenever the vendor shows up to stock, which is, could be Thursday, could be Wednesday, could be Tuesday, but we're going to start seeing that stuff. I'm really excited. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm like getting goosebumps.
Dude, it's so you're like here's the thing. Hidden Fates is gonna be on the shelves at the same freaking time, dude. It's gonna be on the same time. Like all these people that didn't get their Hidden Fates this last week, those vendors still have that shit in their warehouses. They just haven't gotten around to stocking it yet. So you're likely to see Hidden Fates, Shining Fates, the battle decks, probably Vivid Voltage. You're going to see all of that stuff likely getting stocked all at the same time next week. Because if you haven't noticed, like Walgreens, all these places, other than a couple probably of your Walmarts around your city, haven't had stock for 4 weeks-ish, right? The GameStops have, but the Walmarts and Targets have really been out for about that amount of time, other than a couple of them. And that just means that the vendors just haven't gotten around to putting everything out yet. So we're going to see a lot of that stuff. It's going to be like kids in a candy shop, not to mention web stores like myself, like ours at Aurora Beam. We got we got Darkness Ablaze in stock right now. Some other people should have that too. We got these Meowth boxes that have Cosmic, that have Evo, that have. So like the Pokemon is figuring it out. It's starting to come back out. We do have like a little bit of bummer with, I think everybody needs to curb their enthusiasm for how much Shining Fates is actually going to be on the shelves. But there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff on the shelves at that time too. It'll probably go quick. It'll probably be about 3 days. And it'll be all cleared out.
If you guys are in an area where you have a lot of trouble finding product on your shelves because there is a large community of, you're diligent up in the morning at 6 a.m. to be at Walmart at 7 a.m. to clear the shelves out. Be patient. If you don't need it right away, just wait, because there's going to be waves of Shining Fates. It's already announced that we're going to be seeing the same amount of waves likely as Champion's Path and Vivid Voltage, if not more. So we're going to be getting these waves over the next 3 or 4 months. If you can wait, you don't have to pay these exorbitant prices when you see the prices of these Elite Trainer boxes on Marketplace and eBay and the market value. Well, it's a brand new super hype Charizard, dishing out set. Just wait. Yeah, it'll do the thing that all these other sets do. It'll be here, starting out, and then as the market gets its fill, it's going to dip. And then it's going to sort of like level out in that sort of, acceptable market range, right? Until it's gone from stores and then it goes back up. So just wait for that dip. You can get your stuff then. Reach out to people like, Zach and Trevor, who have access to, these products and get in on their wait list. If you're not on the wait list, pre-order list for the first wave, we'll still get on there and reach out because they're going to be getting more stuff in. And then when those waves hits, you'll be getting some stuff. Yeah, the dip.
It's kind of funny. Like we get our orders, but by the time like our orders are stocked, we usually have sent out 4 or 5 emails to individuals that have asked for specific amounts of product, that have, that supported us in the past, that we want to take care of or whatever, that messaged us directly, that liked our Facebook page. If you like our Facebook page, Aurora Beam Collectibles, I post there and then I post here in Goldenrod about 4 minutes later. So if you want to know 4 minutes before this community, that's usually where it's going to be at, right? So reach out directly to me, and that's a good lesson for anybody that you guys buy from. even the big guys, they want to take care of individual customers that purchase from them regularly. So, you know, if you're like, oh, should I reach out to this big guy? Will they help me out with this? Is this something they'll help me hunt? Absolutely, they will. You just have to ask. You know, even some specific cards and stuff, you would never imagine what some of these places have just sitting around that they haven't posted for sale, and you ask them about it, and they'll be like, yeah, absolutely, we'll sell it to you, particularly if you're a huge fan of that Pokemon or that character or whatever it is. So be willing to reach out, and my web store and a lot of these other places that are really highly reputable, they'll treat you the right way.
For sure. All right, we're at 40 minutes exactly. I think we're probably good with our sesh. Yeah, rip it. We got a Vivid Voltage pack today.
Yep. Dude, I want that Pikachu so damn bad. It's the bane of my existence, actually, at this point. So let's see, white code card, come on. Oh, no.
I don't look at the code cards a lot of the time. I just flip it down.
You know what, though? Having the amazing rares in this set and actually making it a little bit more exciting, it makes like me not really care about that.
Yeah, because then you just immediately think like, okay, now
maybe amazing rare. You know, I'm like let down for a second, then I'm like, oh, okay, not so bad.
Yeah.
You're a Nessa fan, right?
I am a Nessa fan.
You're all hot and bothered about Nessa. Drillbur, one of the best Pokemon in Sword and Shield, guys.
Drillbur. Yeah, actually.
He's mean, man.
Excadrill. Very playable.
Just go. Feral Seed. Is this my reverse? Oh, Fanfi.
The second best Pokemon in Sword and Shield. All bag of garbage.
What Donphan actually was? Somebody was telling me that Donphan decks are going to start being really popular because you can end up buffing Donphan to be able to do over 350 damage or something like that. Oh, so like your little Donphan is just going to like one-shot VMAX Pokemon, which is fun. That's a fun thought. Just Eternatus versus Donphan.
Yeah.
Donphan gets that. I love it.
All right.
Well, no Chunky Chew, but that was really fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out. This is Coffee and Pokemon. You can find it on my YouTube channel, War Curdle. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep up with the episodes. Also, look out for the podcast as well. If you like to listen in your car or while you're doing some work on Spotify, just search Coffee and Pokemon and you'll pull it right up. And then you can also follow that to stay up to date with the newest episode. So yeah, Zach, again, thank you so much for your time. Very, very much. And look forward to the next sit down sesh, probably tomorrow, maybe. And yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. Have a good day, buddy.
Yeah. Later, man. Thanks everybody.